So you get through that, and I could just imagine some of you are looking at it and saying, okay, so what does this mean to me where I am doing the work I'm doing today? And I think it's, my hope is to just try to convey how industry approaches addressing these questions, the key of understanding user needs and connecting them to our technical specifications in the end, and how that typically will radiate through, as well as ongoing risk assessment and management through the process. And really the intention of trying to explain that is more so that as you're doing the work that you're doing now, that you can be aware that this is what they're thinking of, and probably most impactfully considering as you're developing certain technologies, starting to think about users, starting to think about potentially the risks that the technologies could present, or the risks in the clinical process that you're considering, to identify where they might want to see a lot of scrutiny and effort being focused in addressing and answering questions, to really make sure that where you're going is going to potentially address the question you're hoping it will. Other practices to consider at this point is, throughout this presentation, there are big pictures of big files and documents. And, as you go, you want to make sure that you're capturing things in laboratory notebooks, or in some way that they can be presented and reviewed by, if you're ever going to work with a company partner, or as you start bringing in additional partners, that they can get at that information, review it, and then use it to develop the additional work that they would want to, jumping off from there. So these things would be really used as inputs to the overall design process. And then the other thing is just recognizing that, as you start to approach commercialization, becomes a broader enterprise that brings in a range of skill sets. So, it gives you an opportunity to really collaborate across with a lot of different people that don't always come to the table with technical expertise being their primary area. So the other thing to be thinking about is, one of the things that's really key in understanding user needs is recognizing users aren't all technical either. And so they're going to ask for things in non-technical ways. And so you need to be able to explain what you're doing in non-technical ways as well. And that's going to be helpful for the regulatory specialist that's trying to design the right strategy to get the submission approved. It's going to be helpful for the reimbursement specialist that's looking to make a good argument around why this product would add value to a procedure. And it's just another translation that you need to be thinking about as you're doing your technical work, so that you get the right support in place from those people that don't come to the table with the same kind of technical expertise that you do.